What's going on, guys? It's Zach back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 5 stretches that I do every single day, both morning and evening. Now, I do a lot more than 5 stretches both in the morning and the evening, but I figured I would give you kind of a condensed approach to my stretching routine, and it'll help you kind of understand why I do what I do in general. Now, the first thing that I want to point out before I jump into this video is that you really shouldn't ever do static stretching without a warm-up, without really kind of warming up your body, loosening up those tendons, and then getting into your stretch to really make sure that you're getting the most benefit and not injuring yourself. Now, this video is going to be a quick, basic routine rundown, but understand that all of us are very different, and what works for me is going to be a lot different than what works for you. Now, I have a link below this video that you can sign up for a free consultation with me, and we'll talk about how to create a strategy that works for you and your fitness goals. But without further chit chat, let's jump in. Alright, you guys, so the first thing that I want you to make sure that you do is find a space that you can kind of stretch out, get a little bit comfortable, and we're going to move into the first main stretch that I'm going to show you. And this is just pretty simple neck rolls. Now, you'll see that I'm doing things to a slightly more exaggerated extent than I think most people will do neck rolls. You'll see that kind of my whole upper body is moving, and what I'm really doing here is trying to kind of extend my neck as much as I possibly can. So I'm almost imagining that there's some kind of string at the top of my head, and it's like pulling my entire neck, and not just my neck, but also my spine. And I'm trying to feel that consistent kind of straight line energy almost through my entire body. And then I'm rolling as far as I can toward the back. I'm really stretching out toward the back, and then I'm tucking my chin and really keeping the back of my neck extended as I roll my head across the front of my body. So we're just gonna do 5 rolls in one direction, kind of clockwise or counterclockwise, and then stop after 5 and do 5 back in the other direction. And of course, you can always do more if you feel like you need to do more and just get that little bit of extra stretch time in. So the next stretch we're gonna do is probably my favorite stretch right now, and this is an incredibly powerful hip opening stretch. Now, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I'm putting both of my hands on my hips, and then I'm simply pushing my hips around in a circle. When people do that little dance and they're like, bring it around town.
Now it's time to bring it around town. Bring it around town.
That's really all we're trying to do. You'll see as I'm coming around, I'm really trying to push my hips out and forward, extend through my legs as I'm coming around the sides, and then towards the back, I'm really trying to make sure that my butt is pushed out, my back is straight, and I'm extending as much as I can in a reasonable way. Same kind of thing, we're just doing 5 circles in both directions, but really it's as simple as trying to get the maximum range of motion and just push your hips as far as you can comfortably push them with your feet still flat against the ground, and really keeping the weight pushed through your heels like you would on a regular squat. Alright, for this next stretch, I'm going to be doing Cobras. Now, I'm starting out with kind of a crappy downward dog into a crappy up dog, and then putting my hips against the ground and doing my Cobra. Now, this is something that I repeat in every single instructional regarding the Cobra, but it's really important to make sure that your hips are pressed against the ground. I think a lot of people screw up by kind of allowing their hips just to like lightly touch the ground, or maybe the pressure is really kind of in their upper leg or something like that. But you're gonna get the best stretch in your lower back if you really make sure to push your hips against the ground, and then you can kind of push back through your upper your upper back and whatnot to get that shoulder and upper back stretch a little bit in there as well. Moving on to the runner stretch, you can see that all I'm trying to do here is keep a forward knee bent at kind of I guess like a 90-degree angle in a way. And I'll show you more when we kind of approach the front side, but my back leg is almost as straight as I can make it. I'm trying to square my hips towards that front knee so everything's kind of pointed in the same direction. And I really feel this stretch quite a lot in my hips and my glutes especially. You might get some quads and hamstrings on the back leg, but for the front leg, you should really be feeling it in your butt quite a lot, as well as your hips, as long as you're squaring your body effectively. You can see that I'm just trying to give you a few different angles, and especially when I bring the camera to the front, it's easy to see what I mean by squaring my hips, right? The front knee, I'm still not 100% sure what that movement should look like, but it is kind of just this triangle out from the front of your body, almost like an arrow pointing away from you. And like I said, lean into that, with your body kind of shoulders over top of the knee, body squared with that knee as much as you possibly can. And the more that you're able to square that knee, the more that you'll really feel it in your glutes and your hips. And that's really the goal of this movement specifically. And of course, keeping the best for last, what is a good stretch session without some butterfly? Pretty straightforward, you guys, just keeping your feet together. Do your best to push down on your knees, and that way you really help to open up your hips and make sure those tendons in your legs are getting a nice stretch. But there's nothing much to this, just keeping your butt against the ground. Do your best to keep your back straight. I'm not doing the greatest job here. And the longer that you hold it, the better the stretch you'll get. And I always think that this is a pretty solid stretch to finish off with, just because you get to sit there and pretty much do nothing but push down on your knees if you want. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any further questions or comments, drop them below, hit that little subscribe button and the notification bell so you know my videos come out. And until next time, you guys, much love. Talk to you later.